What's going on, my friends? Today all I want to do is have some fun and talk about one of my favorite watch brands, Seiko. Seiko definitely has a divisive reputation. You either love them because of their style and history, or you hate them because of their cost and lack of quality control. I would say I'm somewhere in the middle with a clear bias in their favor simply because I just like what they have to offer. I know they are far from perfect, but I choose to support them because their watches just have so much character to me. Let me be clear. The point of this episode is not to say that Seiko is the best brand, nor am I trying to say that the watches showcased are better than any other watch. I am just talking about some watches that I like, that I feel need more love in social media, and I've got nothing better to do than to talk about them. The watches in question are the Baby Tuna, Golden Turtle, DressKX, and SRPG 27. Whether or not they are in fact underrepresented is irrelevant. Ultimately, I just like them, so there's really no better reason to talk about them. I'll start off with the Baby Tuna because this is the watch that I feel, out of all of these watches, deserves more popularity. Seriously, why isn't this watch more popular? Am I so far removed from the watch community that nobody thinks the same way I do? As far as I'm concerned, aesthetically, this watch has got it all. It has an amazing steel-on-steel look that is so irresistible to me. I get that the movement is a little underwhelming, but in this case, I'm willing to allow form to outweigh function. At the end of the day, a 4R36 movement is gonna get you to work on time, so personally I don't care if it's not a top performing movement. It's got kind of a cheesy early 2000s style here with the bezel font, and the weird hour hand seems out of place with the more uniform indices. But to me, these things make the watch interesting and gives it character in a way that Seiko seems to be avoiding in their current lineup. Character is the name of the game here. It's not some dainty little thing, but rather a robust watch that looks the part from its steel shroud all the way down to its closed Prospex caseback. The bracelet is handsome in a low-maintenance kind of way, and I like that. There's something beautiful about a cheaper bracelet that doesn't stress you out over minor scuffs and scrapes. It's a watch that isn't advertised as a high-end luxury thing, but still retains that X factor that makes you feel like you really got something special on your wrist. The Baby Tuna is the only reason why I purchased an actual tuna. I was so happy with the Baby Tuna that I felt like I'd get the same high from adding a tuna to my collection. But here we are a few years later with the tuna long gone and the Baby Tuna still standing strong in my collection. I'm not here to try and convince you that the Baby Tuna is incredible, but with that being said, if you're already in the market for a Baby Tuna because of the above reasons, then I can safely say you will not be disappointed when you get one. Now moving on to my Golden Turtle. First of all, turtles are awesome, period. In my opinion, Seiko leads the way in case design with their cushion cases. These things are built for long-term comfort, so with that in mind, now let's add a little gold flair to the most comfortable case in the world, and now we have the Golden Turtle. But it's not tacky or gaudy in any way. I find that they used a very classy gold tone and paired it with the perfect combination of strap, bezel, index, and dial colors. This thing screams 70s veteran playboy while still being appropriate in a professional setting. It's a very fun watch to wear and strays just far off the beaten path to catch anyone's attention. If you've never rocked a gold watch or gold jewelry before, I completely understand how this watch might be a turn-off for you. All I can say is try it out once and you'll catch the gold bug. I was exactly that way. I felt that gold was very tacky and outdated, but the old heads got it right. Gold rocks, and so does this Seiko. Coming up next is the DressKX. This one is one of the newer models of today's episode, but it has solidified its place in my personal Seiko Hall of Fame. So what do I like about this watch? I like how it gives me the dive watch experience without being a dive watch. You get the circular indices that are synonymous to divers, but there's no rotating bezel, which is an overplayed feature in today's market, and it's refreshing to see a watch without one. That's not to say that I don't like dive bezels. I'm just saying it's nice to have a watch without one every once in a while. I find that the reason why I love this watch so much is the same reason why I love the Tudor Black Bay 36. It's also beautifully sized with a height to diameter ratio that's hard to beat. It's an excellent evolution of the SKX without any of the SKX baggage, and I think it truly lives up to its nickname as the DressKX. There are several color and finishing variations also, so finding one that resonates with your style is easier than with other brands. And if you're a collector, then being able to collect them all is a great way to fall victim to mindless consumerism. If you can't find the perfect fit, then you can modify it as I did mine. I installed a knurled crown, a closed Prospex caseback, and a Jubilee style bracelet, and now it is perfect for me. Seiko watches like these are made for modding. There's an extensive online community for Seiko mods, so it's a great way to take control of your watch and make it uniquely yours. I like to think that I have an okay amount of knowledge on a variety of watches, and the DressKX is that perfect middle ground of style, being kind of a luxury beater that won't break the bank, won't stress you out, and only serve to put a smile on your face. Now for the last watch of today's episode, the SRPG 27. Of all the watches discussed today, this is the watch I would recommend to anyone wanting to try out automatic watches or watch collecting in general. I understand that finding the first watch can be overwhelming, and the SRPG 27 has that classic style of a watch that everyone can connect to. To me, this watch is styled in a way that would be at home on the wrist of a hardworking man that prioritizes a straightforward approach to things while still looking nice doing so. The dial reflects light in a way that is reminiscent of the Hamilton pilot from the movie Interstellar. It's not a mirror polish, but a beautifully subtle reflection from the milled indices, and it does so for a third of the price of the Hamilton. I'm usually not a fan of the sides being mirror polished, but in this case I find that it serves to accentuate the beauty of the brush finishing on the bezel, lugs, crown, and bracelet. I'm also usually not a fan of open casebacks on watches with unfinished movements, but for whatever reason I like it here. Maybe it's the brushed ring around the display crystal, maybe it's the fact that there isn't any unnecessary increase in thickness, or maybe it's just because the package as a whole all ties together really well. I wouldn't be able to tell you, I just know that in this case I'm okay with the open caseback. The bracelet is going to be your generic Seiko style bracelet with hollow end links, but like I said before with the baby Tuna, there's something beautiful about a jingly bracelet that's low maintenance and ready for any environment. And that's what this watch is overall. It's a low maintenance watch, ready for any environment, and ready for all kinds of watch enthusiasts. From the broke college kid to the broke watch addict, its straightforward approach to telling time is endearing and attractive. I think they even came out with a smaller version too, so there's variety in size as well. But that's all I got for now. Hopefully this was a somewhat entertaining video and that at least one of you agrees with me. If not, I'm always down to read which Seikos, or any watch in general, that you think are great. I am constantly trying to increase my knowledge on what's out there, just like you guys, so there can never be enough discussion here. Other than that, thanks for watching. A like and subscribe is always appreciated, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.